Guys, we lost our camera. I don't know how that could have happened, so we are done on this vacation. No footage, we lost everything.
Hi guys! We've just returned from our vacation in France.
Yeah, so this is our vacation video, but some of you might notice something is wrong. This is not how usually our videos from our vacation look.
Normally there will be a grandiose opening right here, but our camera got stolen with all our footage.
Yeah, so everything is gone. Oh my god, we are filming on our old camera. We had to dust it off and everything. And we were thinking that we will record this video anyway. We will tell you what happened, how the vacation was, and yeah, we will do it, but
we want to remember our vacation, at least in some form.
yeah, so this is like a diary for us, and let's remember together what happened not even a week ago.
So for the first time, we decided to drive by car from Brno to Prague. We had a flight from Prague to Marseille because it was cheaper, better accessible and so on. But we needed to go by car because of the times.
And the flight from Prague to Marseille, France, took around 1.5 hours, right?
Yeah.
We landed in Marseille and immediately there was chaos because we were using public transportation and we are big fans of public transportation. I will put some pictures from the internet or somewhere so you can imagine how everything looked. We have like 2 or 3 of our own pictures because we lost everything. Yay, we were not just filming on our camera, but we also were taking pictures.
Yeah, not on our phones.
No, we are so stupid. We should like use all the devices we have with us, but no. There is a bus from the airport to the city in Marseille, but that is quite expensive and I was feeling adventurous. So we took another bus, public transportation bus, not the direct one, that took us to a nearby train station, and there we wanted to buy a train ticket through an app, but the train that was coming was fully booked or something, like it was impossible to buy. So we had to wait, I don't know, 45 minutes for the next one. Yay, it was so hot, there was almost no shade, but then the train arrived and it was a nice ride. I love trains, and then we ended up in the city. So we went directly to our hotel, right? Tommy booked it and it was close to the train station because Tommy is a great organizer.
It was like 5 minutes walk from the train station.
Mm-hmm.
And fortunately, we had been to Marseille before, like 10 years ago. So at least losing footage from Marseille is not such a loss.
Yeah, we have pictures from 2014. Yay! So this was our second time in Marseille. So we checked in to the hotel. It was a nice one. I made a great property tour of the room. I was jumping on the bed and everything. It's lost. And
he was showing how to use the toilet.
Yes, and there was a nice bathroom. Very spacious and very full of light. There was a very big window there, but with this milky glass, you couldn't see through it, so the people on the streets didn't have to be terrified. It was all okay. So then it was almost evening, right?
Yeah, we arrived sometime in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. So around 5 p.m. we went out and we wanted to explore the city for a little bit. But immediately we were overwhelmed Of course, that's us. Because the city is so busy, so crowded, there were a lot of people, a lot of noise, and it was very, very busy, which is too much for us usually. So we were walking the streets. We found luckily this quieter street where there was no traffic, just tram was driving there, and that was nice. That was also shaded with big trees. I love that. And then we went to this big fountain. We remembered that one from 10 years ago, so we wanted to see that, and it was amazing. I love the place. It's a very big fountain with many levels, various heights, and these old buildings around it. So it's a pretty place. I liked it again.
Then we returned to the old port, I think it's called, because we wanted to see also some new places, and I don't remember being there the first time. So that was nice, being by the water. And as the sunset was coming, we wanted to go to the cathedral or whatever it is on the hill in Marseille, which is one of the most important places probably, to watch the sunset from there. But when we arrived there, we realized that a lot of people had the same idea. So I immediately wanted to leave, because I'm not a sheep.
Yeah.
But Peter didn't want to have any of that, and he wanted to enjoy the sunset together with the other hundreds people.
Yeah, so we were there in the crowd of people watching the sunset. It was great. The sun was setting behind a hill, and it was fully visible, everything. It was quite windy there, so there was dust in our eyes and everything, so not ideal conditions. Tommy was not impressed, but yeah, we saw the sunset at least.
I don't remember the sunset, I just remember people and dust.
And we were filming there, and I was pronouncing the name of the cathedral. I don't even remember it now, but my French was on point, right? It was great. And yeah, so then we returned to the port, and it was getting dark slowly. We were walking the streets, and there was some other pretty church which we visited, but we were already tired because we walked so much that day.
Yeah, I think we were out for just, 4 hours, and we did like 16 kilometers.
Yeah, it was
in the evening.
unbelievable, because this was just the arrival day.
Yeah.
And we had just a few hours in the evening, and we managed to see a lot. So then we returned to the hotel, totally tired, and we went to sleep.
The hotel was in the city center, close to the train station, which was great location, but it also was very busy. It was in a very busy street, and I think Marseille is a party town, or I don't know, like in the summer there are a lot of tourists there, because it's by the sea. And in addition, the Olympics were ongoing at the time. And
in Paris, but parts of it were happening also in other French cities. So in Marseille there was soccer or something going on.
Football, yes.
Football, for us, football.
So there was a lot of traffic in the street, a lot of people, a lot of honking by cars, even at midnight. So it was a little bit more difficult to sleep there.
Then on the next day, we were planning to go to a national park. There is a national park right next to Marseille with these beautiful areas. What are they called? Calanques. It looks great. There is turquoise water and a few small beaches, and we also found a nude beach on the map, so we wanted to check that one out. We thought there could be a little bit less people, because otherwise all the beaches are quite crowded.
Yeah. And again, we had been there before, the first time we visited Marseille, so that's why we wanted to go back there and explore new places within the national park. But there was another thing that wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, so we arrived by bus to the gate of the national park and it was closed. There were people standing there and saying that we have to turn around because it's so hot outside and very windy. It was like 35 degrees Celsius and there is a high fire risk. So the national park is closed. So that was a punch in our guts. And luckily we had a public transportation ticket valid for the whole day. So I was like, yay, we are going to ride all around the town or all around the city. So we checked the map and we found another area with beaches that we thought we could explore. So we rode the bus and then metro and I was filming everything. I was nerdy. I was saying everything about the public transportation. It was so interesting filming all the metros and everything. Anyway, we arrived to this other area. It was so crowded. Oh my god, we couldn't believe our eyes because we thought it would be somewhat forgotten area with just a few locals or something. No, there were like million cars and billions of people everywhere. The beaches looked great. There was this path above them so we could see them from above. It looked amazing, very Mediterranean, very turquoise water. I loved it, but we wanted to explore other beaches where you had to hike for a bit. The whole area is very beautiful. There is a train track or something, train line going above the cliffs. There are these bridges, very beautiful, and usually under the bridge there is a little beach. And the views were amazing. We were taking pictures as well. Luckily one on our old camera, yay! And then we found this beach and we arrived. It was quite a hike down some cliffs or downhill, and when we arrived we discovered that there are a lot of people. Yay!
Even though we didn't meet any people on the way.
Yeah. So Tommy was again not impressed at all. Tell us what was going on there.
I wanted to turn around and go back, but Peter wanted to jump into the water.
So where did the people come from?
Apparently there are organized kayak tours to the beach. And so when we arrived, there were a lot of kayaks on one side of the beach and a lot of people just sitting on the beach and relaxing.
Yeah, so amazing. But I said I'm not leaving. I'm going to the water at any cost. We had no place to change, so I just wrapped a towel around me and took off my underwear and put on my swimwear and I jumped into the sea. And that was amazing, turquoise water, and I loved it. I was happy that I'm in the sea finally. Tommy was not amused. He was just sitting there in between all the kayakers which were resting on the beach. But then they started leaving, right?
Yeah.
And
so things were looking up, but about 1 minute after they left, another tour came in.
yes. So, oh well. But then Tommy found the courage and he went into the water too.
Yeah. It takes me time because I don't deal with change. No, not with change, but with unpredictable situation. Well, so I wasn't expecting so many people in there, and it was such a small beach. It felt very cramped. It was like sitting with 20 or 30 strangers in your living room.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't want to be there.
Yeah, but luckily Tommy went into the water in the end anyway, and it was nice.
It was quite cold, colder than I expected.
Yeah, but nice, because it was very hot
Yeah.
outside. Then we left and we caught the last bus, which we had no idea. I was like, should we just stay here on the other beaches too? Like some of the people are leaving, the main ones at the parking lot. Some of the people are already leaving, so we could maybe sit for a bit. And I was like, when is the bus coming? And Tommy looked into his phone and in 10 minutes. And I was like, okay, and when is the next one? And when was it?
9:20 the next day.
The next day, yes. So I was like, what? Oh my god. So luckily we caught the last one. It was very full, of course, and there was something going on there. There was a fight. All of a sudden, a man was fighting with another man. They were screaming, shouting, kids were crying, like, I don't know. We couldn't see because we were facing the opposite direction. But then the aggressive guy somehow got to our area.
Yeah, standing next to us.
Yeah, so he was drunk probably, or I don't know.
Or worse.
It was very unpleasant and uncomfortable and not great. Then it was going on for, I don't know, 20 minutes along the whole ride.
It was very intense.
Yeah, then we got off when we were close to the city center already. We got off the bus. Earlier than we originally were planning. Yeah, and the guy, of course, got off at the same bus stop as well. So I was afraid, like, oh my god, he is following us or something. He probably wasn't. He was already on the other side of the street, but I was very stressed. So I didn't like that at all. Yay. So great adventure. And then we returned to the hotel and then we went to sleep.
And then the following morning we were going to take a TGV train, which is a fast train.
High-speed train.
Yeah, from Marseille to Lyon.
Yes, so I was very excited about that. I was talking about the TGV, how the trains are amazing. I was showing everything. They go 300 kilometers per hour or so.
Yeah, different speed in different places. I don't know how fast we went, maybe 215, maybe 300, I don't know.
Yeah, so in 1.5 hours we got from Marseille to Lyon.
And by car it takes like 3.5 hours, I think. So it's definitely much faster than going by car.
Yeah, it's a big difference. So that was exciting. And then there is this tram. Okay, we arrived not to the city center of Lyon, but to the airport, which is on the edge of the city, because the train tickets on this route were like half the price of to the city center. So yeah, we weren't in Lyon yet, and there is this tram which goes to the city center from the airport, but that one is expensive. It's like 12 euros for half an hour, and it's just a normal tram. And we found another option. Yay, which I was happy about. I was nerding again about the public transportation. So we took a bus and then another tram, and that was 2 euros.
Yeah.
So that's great. And the bus was full, so there were a lot of locals and smarter people, or people who don't
Cheaper
need
people.
Yes, okay, cheaper people like us. We always travel on a budget. So yeah.
But we had time, so we were not in a hurry, and so we went for it.
Yeah, so we got to the city center and we were filming various sites like a fountain and theater, and it was so different to Marseille. Lyon was such a pleasant surprise. It was quite empty, the city center, not crowded at all. It was very spacious. The streets were spacious and all the places, we really liked it. There are two rivers with bridges and we were walking around and it was very different. And this was our first time in Lyon, so we hadn't been to Lyon before. And yeah, it was very nice.
So as part of the city tour of Lyon, we started walking upstairs to another cathedral, which is again on the hill, because we wanted to see the cathedral and we wanted to see the views from up there, and that's where it happened.
Yeah, so we are walking uphill, sweaty again and everything. There were quite a lot of people, and we are walking, and then we were sitting on a bench. Just a moment later, a few seconds, resting, and I was like, I don't have my camera. Where is it? It was in my pocket. It's called DJI Osmo Pocket 3, so you are supposed to have it in your pocket with the microphone and everything, and I was stressing out, like, where is it? Oh my god, did I put it in my backpack or what? We were searching everywhere. Then we returned, like we were walking back through the street that we were walking uphill, looking everywhere, and the camera was gone. So I got pickpocketed, probably in the crowd, or I lost it somehow, but probably somebody took it from my pocket.
Yeah. We spent like an hour searching for it, but there were so many people, it was a very touristy place.
Yeah.
We didn't really have a chance to find it.
Yeah, so wow. So guys, we lost the camera. It's a very, for us, expensive one. It was like 550 euros. And
we only bought it last year, it was quite new.
Yeah, it wasn't even a year old, and the price is even more than what the whole vacation was for us when we counted per person. Our vacations are not expensive, the flight tickets are cheap and the hotels are not some exclusive ones. So I was so sad, like, oh my god, we don't have anything, everything is gone. And okay, so
Peter was discouraged. For him the vacation was over because filming it is the highest priority.
Yeah.
But that didn't stop him, and he immediately took out his phone and started filming on his phone.
Yeah, so I want to capture everything for you guys. I'm quite annoying sometimes, but I want to have everything on the camera. So everything is gone. Some person in the world is scrolling through the footage now, wondering what these two guys are doing, why are they filming all the little things, and it's so boring and embarrassing. Why would anyone be interested in this? They are thinking. So yeah, so we wanted to ask you a little favor. If you have a few bucks to spare, you can support us through our PayPal link. It's in the description under the video, or you can use this super thanks button right here on YouTube, where you can donate us some money, because now we have to buy a new camera. This old one, the battery is almost done. It's not good anymore. It's a 5-year-old camera and it's deteriorating quite fast. So we will buy the new one, but it's quite a punch in the gut again because it's quite expensive for us, and yeah. Okay.
But at least we lost it on day 3 of our vacation out of 6. So it would have sucked even more if we lost it at the end, because you can't do anything about it. But at least this way we started immediately taking pictures with our phones and with our secondary regular
Picture
camera.
Yeah.
So we have at least some memories from our vacation from Lyon, not from Marseille.
Yeah. So I started filming on my phone. Now we are getting to the part where there is some footage at least, but my phone is not
Cheap.
a great one. It's a cheap phone, so the videos are horrible quality when compared to the lost camera. Then we checked to our Airbnb. It was, I don't know, a 20-minute ride with metro from the city center, and then we went to a police station because I wanted to report it. And of course that won't help you. They will not search for the camera or anything, but it is at least documented that I got pickpocketed. So yeah, it was an interesting experience at the police station.
We've never been before to any police station anywhere in any country.
Yeah, so that was new. They don't speak much English in France in general, so we were using Google Translate, but this nice officer was talking English. He appeared later, and yeah, we were saying what happened, and then we were like, okay, bye, thank you. And yeah, the financial loss is definitely not great. So if you feel like supporting us, feel free to use the PayPal link or use the super thanks button here, and we would be forever grateful. And there would be nice videos again in the future. Next time we will show you more of what we did in Lyon. It's so beautiful here in Lyon, I really like it.
This is the perfect spot for us. Nobody on the beach, it's just us at the moment.
But for now, this is all for the first part of our vacation.
We tried putting it together as best as we could under the circumstances, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Hope you at least enjoy the story.
yeah, and the shitty footage from my phone. And yeah, hopefully we will see you in another video. So until then, and we are going. Bye!
It's time for dinner.